Deaf.
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 Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Death by Daylight.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Death by Daylight. This is an episode. This is episode.
24.
This is episode. Thank you, Jesus. This is episode
Kobe.
24. Yeah. R.I.P. baby boy. Mamba. This is episode 24, our Kobe episode. And we are not going to be talking about Kobe Bryant.
Oh shit. We're crashing, guys.
No. Kick this
Poor
motherfucker
taste.
out.
Poor form.
Kick this guy out.
Alright.
Kick this motherfucker
We're
out.
talking.
We're done. We're ending the podcast now, guys. Good night. We
I don't know if the
done.
listeners are gonna
Ending.
fucking.
Stream ending. See? Goodbye, guys.
Alright.
I don't know if the listeners are gonna put up with a second angry fucking output. So we're doing episode 24 is our Kobe episode, but we're not talking about Kobe Bryant. I guess episode 8 could have also been it could have been our young Kobe episode when he was Shaq's goofy second banana. But
We did talk about rape that episode.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Like I said, we're ending now, guys. Goodbye.
What
Thanks
we
for
did?
tuning in.
Okay, honestly, I don't know if we talked about rape, but I'm pretty sure we did.
Most episodes, there's some version of rape. I have to go see what the episode's titled, and I can tell you immediately what we talked about because
I got it right here. Hold on. Episode 8, Rape Fest. Yep.
Rape Fest 2020.
2020.
Who invited this guy? That was probably me, huh?
There went my control. So now that that's out of the way, we are going to go to the introductions. We'll get to what we're talking about here in a second. But tonight, I am with Ernie.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
He's going to be doing your streaming this evening. And I am with Jesus.
Sup. Welcome to Rape Fest.
My, thank you, Jesus, my content creating buddy. I am here with Juan.
What up?
Our own goofy second banana, and I am here with our special guest, Michelle.
Yay!
Yeah.
You will know Michelle from her Death by Daylight comment section fame. She
Yeah.
is tuned in most of our shows and is very active on the chat, and also our friend in real life. So she wanted to be on the Midsommar episode, and we were happy to have her on here. So
Real quick,
she's gonna be our ace in the hole here. She's our expert on the movie that we're going to be talking about today, which is Midsommar or Midsummer, which is how I'm going to refer to it probably from now on.
So, episode
go
8,
ahead.
Josh, was Manson.
Then we definitely talked about rape. We 100% talked about rape on the Manson episode.
Yeah, we talked about how he took a rib out to suck his own dick. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
That's not rape, but okay.
Also, Marilyn Manson. So tonight's episode. Oh, first, what is everybody drinking? It's a Wednesday, so we're trying to be responsible. What do you
My
got
second
going on?
drink.
There you go. That's being responsible. Fucking even it out. One for each hand. What are you drinking, Jesus?
Well, it turned out to a lot of snack decks for shots, and I just threw it all together. So I guess it's just a DAC at this point.
Just a
And
DAC.
and now I'm making another one, full cup.
Nice. That full cup DAC.
Yeah.
Full cup snack DAC.
So you're gonna hear some shaking in the back right now. Hear that ice?
Delicious. Delicious.
Snack DAC, if you're listening.
Ernie, are you drinking?
I am currently waiting for my beverages to be delivered.
Ah, Go Puff.
If you're listening.
Juan, are you drinking anything?
I am having pink Moscato right now.
Oh,
Bougie.
damn. Pinky up, motherfucker.
I
you,
actually am,
Post
and
Malone.
I didn't even realize it.
It's because you classy as fuck. You ain't even trying. Michelle, what are you drinking?
I have no idea. No, I needed some energy, so I made a cocktail with coffee, and it has Fernet in it, and then I have a bottle of tequila on the side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of coffee or Fernet, but that tequila sounds delicious.
I don't like
It's like
Fernet
my
at all.
favorite combination ever. So good.
So, as you probably noticed, we have been missing some segments. We've been missing a couple shows. We've been missing a person here or two. We are working all of that out, but as the COVID-19 outbreak starts to turn the other way, which it inevitably will turn back if we keep acting like jackasses, but if as it's gone down, we have had to go back to our lives. So we're going to be here as much as we possibly can. We're going to try to make up episodes where we can. Please bear with us, and we will keep you updated through social media at Death by Daylight on Twitter and Instagram, Death by Daylight on Facebook, and we're going to get a Snapchat going here pretty quickly.
Being a TikTok too.
And of course, we'll try to keep everybody updated on the YouTube part of it as well. But we will be trying to get more consistent. Again, it's hard to get everybody here. We have not heard from Jude. Jude might be alive. He's probably dead. Probably fucked the wrong guy's mom. And
Rape
he's gone
fest.
now. So, so Jude's dead. So we don't know if he's coming back. Darren has become very busy even to do his segments. So there's a chance that his segment will be sparing as well. But we're going to try to have a rotating door of people, and we're going to try to do the best that we can. And Ernie is going to go ahead. Are you there, Ernie? Because I need to
Yeah.
get a beer.
I'm here. It's still it's not even on its way yet, fuckers.
We're doing a live rape session.
Why? Why
Why what?
Why with the rape? I don't even understand.
I don't either.
You're just fucking Jesus Christ. So Ernie is gonna go ahead and do his Death by Daylight segment. Let you know of any updates, also what he's gonna be running and why.
So like there are updates. It's been kind of busy and I don't know them like all right now. But I know like they have a PTB, the public test build on PC right now, with some of the new maps being remastered. So that should be coming out soon. I'm gonna run this fucking hobo dude that I've only played with like once, so it's gonna be a very embarrassing match. But I just kind of felt like running it. He's weird, man. He fucking runs into things and keeps.
He's the
bouncing off.
bouncy one.
Yeah, fucking pinball wizard.
Nice. What is he called?
The Blight.
The Blight. Does
Yeah.
anyone know what that means?
No,
Or is it like the Babadook where it really doesn't mean anything?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna look it up.
He
But,
said his name is Blight.
so I'm gonna be just running like a fucking little
A
generator
plant disease, typically one caused by fungi such as mildews, rust, and smuts.
thing that explains his job.
Ooh.
Or
A thing
Delicious.
that spoils or damages something. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like
So-
I don't really have much perks on him. I just decided, fuck it, might as well play with him, see how that goes. Gonna run Discordant so I can see when two people are on a gen. Hex Undying, so there is gonna be, like, if they destroyed my Hex Ruin, which makes the gens regress when they're not on them, and there's still like a dull totem up, it'll just transfer over there and stay up. And then Dragon's Grip, after I kick a generator, for the next 30 seconds, the survivor that interacts with it will scream and reveal their location, and they'll be exposed so I can one-shot them. So, just say, like, it sounds good in theory, but I've never really played with this guy, so...
Yeah,
He's interesting.
well, I think it'll be good content for people that are here for the Dead by Daylight stuff specifically. I think it'll be fun to watch someone who hasn't done it before do it. You can kind of learn and see. I know that I do that with Smite characters, see people do their first runs and what kind of mistakes they're making and stuff, so I think it'll be good. Like we said, we're going to be talking about Midsommar today. It is spelled Midsommar, but people have pronounced it all sorts of ways. I think Somar just doesn't fucking roll off the tongue, so I'm going to be going back and forth. It is done on purpose. It's not like something pretentious. It's a festival that does take place in Nordic countries, Finland, Sweden, what am I missing right in the middle there? Norway. And so it's a festival that, obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know that it takes a wrong turn. If you haven't seen the movie, we are going to have significant spoilers. And it's not a new movie, but it is, like,
Quick question,
within
real
the
quick.
last
Who the
year
fuck's
or
eating
so.
chips?
God damn it,
Jesus?
Quan. No, it's not me. It's fucking Quan. I bet it's Quan.
No, it's not.
No, I swear to God, I'm not eating fucking chips.
Is it what?
I'm literally on mute right now.
Michelle?
No, it's not fucking Michelle.
I was on mute too. I was just
Well,
cracking up.
Fucking Jesus.
No, okay, honestly, hold on.
Who's eating chips?
Ernie's sus as fuck right now.
Don't
Oh
even
my
try.
God,
Just because you've been
please
playing
don't.
Among Us, you think you know what sus means. Chill out. Who was it? Who's eating chips? Confess. Come on, guys.
It's fucking Jesus.
No,
The second I heard the crunching, I knew it was Jesus.
No, okay, dude, I just texted group chat. Chips? Like...
It was Juan.
Yeah, it's
I
called
heard a noise
fucking,
too, but I didn't know what
It's
the
called
fuck it
fucking.
was.
It's called self-reporting, you motherfucker.
No,
It's Juan.
I put that on my fucking son. I'm not eating chips right now.
It's Juan.
Chips sound
It would
good,
it
though.
would be fucking Juan too. Like if it wasn't Jesus, it would be fucking Juan because he's fucking.
Oh, because I used to weigh 500 pounds, so you automatic fucking.
It's not even a fat thing. It's a get drunk and not pay attention to what you're doing.
That's
Look.
racist.
Okay, I have a fucking full box of Peter Piper's right here. Why would I be eating chips?
Damn.
I don't know. Do you like eating pizza with chips? It was one. Whoever was eating the chips, just don't do it again. I don't want this to turn into a game of Among Us. It's not that fun because we don't have any tasks to complete, and I can't call an emergency meeting every time someone needs a chip. So
Let's just move on.
We do. It was fucking.
oh, that
fun.
It was
sus
Juan.
as fuck that he wants to
It's
move on.
Juan.
Yeah,
Skip vote.
No,
It's
it
Juan.
wasn't, but
I vote Juan.
I vote Juan.
I vote Juan.
Yeah, you're fucking
Damn.
kicked out of the spaceship.
I
Juan.
want chips, but I wasn't eating chips.
It was Juan.
Yeah, you want chips and you just ate some, you motherfucker.
Juan sus as fuck.
So Ernie's already playing, but the rules to the game here are every time he hooks somebody, you get a drink. Every time he breaks a generator, you get a drink. On the first and third kill, you get a drink. And then on the second and fourth kill, we will be taking shots. I put too much A on that, and it sounded like shots.
Shit.
Instead of like a Boston accent, shots.
After like three
take some
kills,
shits.
we're gonna shit ourselves.
You never really drank till you shit yourself.
I forgot that fucking this character's a heroin addict.
We had I had a friend in college. Wasn't
Was
really
a
a
heroin
friend.
addict?
No. Well,
Oh.
maybe one of those two. I had a. He was my fraternity brother. He wasn't really my friend, but he was my fraternity brother, and he used to get so drunk that he would shit himself. Like we'd find
This
him
guy's
in
hard to
bathrooms the next. Dude, he was the most hardcore alcoholic I've ever met, and he was that way even before he got there. And he used to drink until he shit himself. Literally, we would find him in bathrooms, and he would just have shit like all over the floor, all over him, just sleeping in it. And when we got our pledge nicknames, we called him the Squatter. That was his pledge nickname.
Was he like? I mean, if it's happened multiple times, I mean, was he just like cool with it? Like, just like, you know what? Yeah, I shit myself. Whatever. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
So I had never seen that level of alcoholism where he just could not stop. Like, I mean, even if we like kicked him out or like we drove him home or whatever, man, he would find something to drink and just keep doing it. He would just fucking at all costs would keep drinking. I've never ever seen anything like that before, and I've never seen anything like that since then, honestly.
Did anybody ever consider like, hey, let's not invite this dude? He's gonna shit himself.
That's the thing, is that so he was what's called a legacy, which means that his actual family member was in the fraternity as well, his older brother. And so there was a lot of conflict. His
older brother used to piss himself. This is like a family tradition.
We called them the old 1-2s. Yeah, it was very dark, but don't shit yourself.
You
If you're gonna be drinking tonight.
You ever deal with that at the bars, Michelle? People shitting themselves, blackout drunk.
Oh man, no, it's man. I've heard horror stories of other bartenders that live with me and them having to deal with that. But it really is I just had a busy shift and have to check the bathrooms like fuck moment. Haven't dealt with it yet. Knock on wood.
Well, we're gonna invite Juan to come to the next bar open.
It's closed. We're closed.
Since when do I shit myself?
Juan just at the bar like, when can I start shitting everywhere?
I'll be growling like a fucking bear for no reason apparently, but I won't shit myself.
Yeah, I mean, all of those could be true simultaneously.
Shit.
Caesar says in his first 5 years of bartending, it would happen once a month.
Oh God.
My condolences.
Damn it, Juan. You need to control your fucking bladder, bro. Control your fucking bowels.
Yeah, so like, shit doesn't come out of your bladder. You're a nurse, you should know that.
That's how drunk you got, bro. You got that shit dick.
This is not me, just yeah, we didn't think you were talking about yourself shitting once a month, Caesar. But if it's good if you want to clarify that, that's fine. So we are. Ernie, how many drinks have we taken?
You can take a sip. I just got
I've been taking sips.
Yeah, he's
What
having a
the
rough
hell?
time right now.
This killer's tough, man.
Not only that,
Dude.
but he's practically new.
He's a fucking junkie. He has a hard life. Look how many times he shoots up.
Fuck it. The tunnel is real.
Just kill Feng Ming and we'll be good.
Bitch, I live in a fucking trash can. I'm the
He's
poorest
such a
motherfucker
grouch.
on Sesame Street. Nobody's helping me. Hey,
That was
bird,
a pimp.
I need some smack, bird.
Ooh.
On the way back
Oh, nice.
on the way back from Redoso, I was like, I was so fucking sleepy. And then I ate some turkey and some barbecue, and I got the fucking itis all hard.
This is risky.
And,
I knew it. Dang it.
We I couldn't just put music on, so we put Dave Chappelle's "Killing Me Softly" on, and it kept me awake for a while.
Guys,
Also pretty quick too.
yeah, I mean, we switched out.
Yeah, I would know. You fucking put that last leg in, and I needed that real bad.
Yeah, no, I got you. I was ready to shit myself for this.
That's why when we got to the apartment, you were all fucking, get the shit out of the car, let's go.
I'm about to shit myself right here, fucking full of Juan.
What?
I don't know. We just to make people think that Juan shits himself.
I know.
Dude,
I've literally
I
never
like
done
it. I fucking love it.
I hope that we grow some fame one day and people are just gonna come up to Juan like, do you really shit yourself?
that. I'm just gonna roll with it and say I do,
Cool.
Dude, yeah, I bet you people will be into that.
and I'll probably actually start doing it.
Shiza porn.
I'll do it this Friday.
Mom, were you in the German Shiza video? Man, South Park used to be such a good show.
So
It still is.
where are we at, Ernie? Are we drinking? Am I taking shots?
I just got a
Shitting
show.
myself.
Am I shitting myself?
We taking shits.
So am I taking a shot or am I taking a
He
shit?
just-
Tell me right now.
Let's see here.
Oh, fuck
He has
that
2
mean
hook
duck.
survivors. One, is she dead?
Yeah.
Alright, he
Oh,
killed
that's
one,
great.
so take a shot.
But is she dead really?
He's about to kill a second one because I think he's already hooked her
Nah.
before.
Nah.
Wait, I have a shot on standby. Do I take it yet?
Nah. Not yet.
No, we'll make a big deal out of it.
All right. I
And
better
by that
hear
I
like
mean, and by that I mean we'll say cheers.
applause and yeah. All the cannons going off and the
Is the
works.
Did I
Talking
leave
about-
the mellow corn at your house, Ernie? Oh, he's playing.
Yeah. Oh man, my freaking beer's here. This isn't good.
My freaking beer is here.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
They don't just leave it. You have to sign for it and shit.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah,
go get
it's
my
alcohol.
Oh fuck.
Damn it.
Well, you're under a lot of pressure now, buddy.
Oh,
ID.
shit.
Shit.
Do some share play and one of us takes over.
I'm gonna run real quick. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
That would be like a
Holy
fucking
fuck.
crackhead just like running around, just like stops, freezes.
Fucking some survivors looking at him right now, just fucking. This guy's like not moving. I don't know if this is like a power play or some kind of fucking sick mind game.
He's standing there shitting himself.
He's a cool killer.
Damn, this is a new
So-
low for us.
Well, look, it kind of looks like he's like trying to carve his name on that tree right there. Just like
The blight. The blight plus Ernie equals love.
Hey, so is he straight up a
I'm coming
crackhead?
Well,
Yeah,
so
bro.
blight. So Caesar condensed the
Alright, guys. sorry.
definition to disease spoils. So I think he's just like a rotting dude. I think like he's supposed to represent like rot.
a rotting crackhead.
Oh shit.
Can you guys hear me?
I
Okay.
can hear you, Willis.
That
Okay.
explains the twitching and all that shit.
I don't know how I got a hook again right away, but
Cause she was fucking hiding in a locker like a fucking idiot.
Michelle, have you ever dealt with people doing heroin in the bathroom?
Running melting.
The only reason I
That
ask
would've
is
been
because
the funniest shit to like walk into. Like,
when I was in Albuquerque for a concert, we went to some fucking some restaurant, and the lady's like, "You guys are not fucking heroin addicts, are you?" We're like, "What? No, what the fuck?"
They're so
She
used
just-
to it.
Yeah, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's just we always have to deal with these fucking junkies trying to come into our bathrooms to shoot up heroin." I'm like, I would like to just buy a sandwich at this point, but sure, let's talk about the heroin addicts.
I had never actually seen anyone do heroin until I went to San Francisco 2 years ago. And if you haven't been to San Francisco lately, all of downtown is a homeless city. There's people just shitting on the sidewalks and like in broad daylight smoking crack right in front of you, like you're just walking down the street, people smoking crack. And I saw people fucking do heroin in their cars, and it was very unsettling. I will not be back to San Francisco for quite some time.
Holy shit.
You went for the gay sex, you got heroin addicts, huh?
Is that
Ernie's
why I
got
went?
2 kills. Ernie's making a comeback.
Oh, Michelle, this is the shot. I am making a big deal.
alright.
Wait,
Big deal time. Woo.
so, wait, we never clarified, so you've never seen anyone do heroin?
Oh, no, so, yeah, definitely not. I don't think, I mean, no. Other things, not that, but I can't imagine walking in and just, like, seeing someone with, like, a tourniquet and a fucking syringe. I don't think, like, I wouldn't think people have the patience to do that in a bar bathroom, but I guess they're just doing it in their car, like fuck it could happen.
I mean, they were doing it in the fucking bathroom at a sandwich shop in Albuquerque.
I watch a lot of Intervention, and let me tell you,
Hey,
there's a
guys.
lot of heroin done in bathrooms.
You guys have to take 2
4K,
shots.
4K.
I think my customers are too lazy for that.
I'm gonna get
That's
lazy.
Is that even like really a thing here in El Paso? Like fucking heroin?
Yes.
Ernie and
I
I
know
definitely
people
know a
who-
heroin addict.
Yes, we
But
do.
it's a thing. It's a thing everywhere. What do you mean? Is it a thing here in El Paso?
We 100% know someone who is.
Well, I mean, as I've known a lot of junkies, but a lot of people are into like pills and into
Okay,
fucking.
you
like,
know that the statistic where like every 6 feet around you there's a spider?
Ugh, no, I didn't know that. And I
every
don't
6 feet
ever wanna
around me,
hear that.
there's a fucking
it's a
heroin
true
addict.
statistic because spiders is the largest species in the whole world, so there's guaranteed to be a spider in every 6 feet of direction anywhere you step. Guaranteed.
Oh,
Could
fuck
you guys
that.
just like ignore what I said? You have to take 2 shots.
So
No, we clearly acknowledged it. Good job.
same thing with
Oh,
heroin
Juan,
addicts.
Please keep that attitude, Juan. I had never heard that before. That was pretty impressive.
I love it.
Alright, I'm gonna go fuck myself and get a beer. I'll be back, gentlemen, while you take your shots.
Well, here, cheers. Here's to your first
Cheers
two
to-
pills, and then
Cheers
Shout
to
out.
heroin.
cheers to heroin.
Heroin.
Oh my god.
Which was a good from
I'm on
first to
that
last
Nikki
album.
Six shit.
I don't even fucking know why I buy fucking Jose Cuervo's
Heroin?
Special anymore.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say heroin.
You know what? I despite knowing recovered heroin addicts, I would not know where to get it. Like I wouldn't even know where to look.
That's what I'm
always hear
saying.
about-
Like, if you want like cocaine or weed or pills, like somebody knows somebody. You know what I mean? Here in El Paso, at least.
I mean, we know somebody. We don't even need to know that somebody that knows
But
somebody.
like, I can't really think like, man, who can I talk to that might know a fucking heroin, like a hookup for heroin? You know what I mean? That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I-
Like, I don't know if that's like a.
Juan,
big
if you
thing
need
here in
if
El
you need
Paso.
some, I got you, bro. Just let me know.
Oh,
I'll send you in the right direction.
guess when I
Right.
first moved here, I hung out with some sketchy ass people. So I know a person who knows a person.
Oh shit!
They wouldn't shoot it though; they would just smoke it. They were responsible.
You know what I was really upset with? Growing up, you always get those like commercials, like when you're a fucking middle schooler, that like high school kids are just gonna offer you pot and shit like that. There's like, hey, you want to smoke? That never happened to me. Like
Yeah,
no
fuck
older
no.
kid.
Fuck no,
Was
people
there,
are
like-
greedy with their shit.
Yeah,
I
I'd be
think
like,
this
"Do you
is a
wanna
can
smoke?
opener
Cool.
situation
Give me
because I was
$50."
offered weed a lot.
Oh shit.
That's how I got into it. Caesar says,
I read that.
is Ernie back? Because Caesar's giving you praise, Ernie. He says 4K with a new killer. What? Manny says, was his name Gremlin 2? I don't know what you're exactly referring to, but let's go with yes. And Caesar says, there's a particular MAGA hat wearing boo who frequents the bars on Cincy who sells the H.
I forgot
So-
about that guy.
The
Yeah.
H, hydrocodone. Nice.
My dude.
My man.
Some aspirin.
Ibuprofen.
He sells Heelys. What a
Aspirin, ibuprofen, Haleave.
Hellboy DVD.
Good job, everybody. So
Hamburgers. I'm thinking of fucking what is it?
hamburgers.
What is it? What's the fucking movie? Don't be a menace. I got these cheeseburgers, man.
I'll suck your dick, man.
Oh fuck, Cheeseburger Eddie.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into Midsommar. I keep saying I'm not gonna say it that way, but I can't now because I'm looking at notes and that's how it's spelled. We're gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and get
so go
into it.
fuck yourself, Juan. Sorry.
This movie came out last year.
Yeah, last summer, last
Yeah.
year's summer. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. So this
Dude, I
this movie-
saw it in the theaters. I can't believe it was just that last year.
in the theaters. Come on, bro.
Dude, I'm on
If you're
heroin
gonna
right
if
now.
you're gonna say theaters, you have to say Midsommar.
Midsommar.
I went to the Takis and saw Midsommar.
I saw
Me
the
and the
old silent flick. Went down to the boardwalk and saw the old talkies, the black and whites.
The black and white.
So this movie was released July 3rd, 2019. It is directed by Ari Aster, who also wrote the movie. He is responsible for some pretty cool modern horror stuff. He is the director. Oh fuck! I fucking lost it.
Hereditary.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's the other big one.
I
Is
Am Legend with
Hereditary.
Will Smith.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
No? Really?
Yes. Look it up.
No way.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh,
God.
you motherfucker. You got me going there for a second. Like, oh shit.
So if you've ever seen The Strange Thing About the Johnsons too, he directed that. He directed
Shut the
Hereditary,
fuck up! Did he really?
Yeah.
Wait, he did?
Holy shit! I did not know that.
Okay. Just making shit up when there's actual facts that we can fucking put out.
Well,
That movie's so bad.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Talk about
But-
fucking fathers, right?
Okay, let's not get into it.
I want to do the episode about that now. All right.
No. So he directed that, but then he has recently had a lot of success with both Hereditary and Midsommar. We'll get into Hereditary in another episode. Obviously, it's like this big phenomenon, and
We
it
talked
deserves
about
its
it.
own episode.
we talked about it.
We
already.
went. We didn't go. Did we have a whole
Yeah.
episode about it?
when we
No,
talked
we don't
about
have
Deborah
a whole
Logan.
episode. No, you know what we'll
Nah.
really talk about is Keeping Up with the Johnsons.
No, we're definitely not fucking.
We're
talking
doing an episode about that.
Or not.
about it. I will be absent for that episode. I don't think we did a Hereditary episode, dude.
Yeah,
No,
because-
we haven't.
When we
no,
talked,
we haven't.
When we talked about Deborah Logan, we did.
We might have mentioned it, but
Yeah,
we
I mean,
have
we
not.
may have mentioned it in the same way we're mentioning it now, but we haven't done an episode on it.
We
Manny
haven't done.
said we did. I think he's on heroin.
You're the
Dude,
one
Manny's
that said-
Manny's just gonna agree with everything Ernie says. We know this already.
Thank you, Manny.
We. Yes, thank you, Manny. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
you-
we haven't, dude.
He was saying yes, you did want to do an episode of Keeping Up with the Johnsons.
What?
I don't know. All right, let's continue.
Oh,
you guys
fuck.
have you noticed Jesus is slowly starting to just like sounds like
No,
the
yeah,
heroin's hitting.
he's fading very quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and get on
I'll
with the movie.
I'll drink to that.
Ari Aster had we lost a viewer. I bet it was Manny. I'm sorry, man.
All right.
So we're gonna get into Midsommar. Obviously, phenomenon for several reasons. Hereditary, it has an opposite feel. I mean, Hereditary is a classic horror movie in the way that it's shot. Some of the cinematography, some of it was revolutionary, obviously, or it wouldn't have been the smash hit that it was. But Midsommar could not be more opposite aesthetically. Shout out to Ale. It could not be more. It's incredibly colorful and bright, and full of life. This movie is full of life in a way that a lot of horror movies live in the shadows and in the darkness. There is none of that here. I mean, there's very dark imagery and things like that, but the actual color of it all is very bright, and that's what sticks out most about this movie.
I don't believe there's a single night shot.
I think the only night
There-
shots are when she's going to sleep, and then
There's one
There-
in the director's cut.
um,
I didn't even know there was a director's cut.
Or, yeah. Sorry.
No, go on.
No.
Go on.
Go on.
Yeah, it's an extra scene, and it's another custom thing that they do during the festival, but it happens at night. There's a lake. Does this sound familiar at all?
no.
No.
A little bit of some
Should
baptism,
I
huh?
say?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
should I
please.
not? Yeah, okay. So it's I think it's happening as they're all walking to like their sleeping quarters or whatever, and Danny sees a group of people just walking towards the lake, so she follows, and basically someone just like raises their hand. They're gonna sacrifice a child, and they put chains and weights and rocks on him, and he's just like walking into the lake, and no one's saying anything. It's like really really quiet. And finally, Danny loses her shit and she screams and says, "No, no, no, please don't!" And like runs, grabs him, and then they stop the whole ceremony, I guess. And she saves his life. I think it was a boy. Yeah, it was a young boy. And I do remember that being like the one scene, like full scene that was at night. It was a little out of place because it was at night. So I do love the director's cut. It's a lot more little things like here and there, but it does feel a little out of place. But it's pretty
Is
cool.
that? Do you think that's why they took it out of the movie, or?
Probably.
Maybe. And it's also already like over 2 hours long.
Yeah, no, it's a
So
long movie.
um I think the director's cut's almost 3 hours. I think something like that, if not a little bit more. But yeah, that shot, you should check it out. Um,
Well,
Teaser's
there.
also saying that the scene where Josh sneaks in to find those texts also happens at night.
that's
There's
right.
there's little things here and there, but it doesn't matter. Most of it is shot during the day, as opposed to most horror movies that are shot almost. I mean, there's a lot of night scenes, obviously, because it makes things darker and scarier. But this does not hide from light. It does not hide from color. It does not hide from brightness in general. Although you're gonna, so here's where spoilers start. The movie begins, or not immediately, but within the first 10 minutes, our main character's sister is killing herself and her parents with exhaust from the car. She ties hoses to the exhaust, and then she tapes her parents' door shut, and she lets the exhaust go into the room, and then she tapes a mask to herself so that she will breathe in the exhaust and die. We're trying to get away from summarizing things because if you haven't seen the movie, you're going to or you're not, and we've seen the movie, we've seen the movie, so we're not going to go in chronological order, or we're going to go in chronological order, but we're not going to summarize like from step to step. This is a scene that I want to talk about in detail because it's you do before we get into this bright, flowery, colorful universe of Midsummer. The very beginning of the movie is incredibly dark. The colors are dark. You get typical horror movie stuff as far as lighting and all that. And over and over and over again, this movie demonstrates how it is a masterclass in metaphor and a masterclass in imagery. So everything you see represents something else. Everything you see, there's some kind of deeper meaning to that. Some people don't like that about movies. Some people don't want to analyze that part of it because you just want to go see what you're seeing and be scared. If that's your fucking jam, watch this movie anyway. Because even if you don't scratch beneath the surface, this movie is deeply unsettling. I can't express enough how unsettling the movie is. It gave me. I'm someone that has anxiety anyway. It gave me a great deal of anxiety just to sit through the movie. Um,
Same.
anguish. I was
Preciousness.
feeling watching Midsummer. But after that, we get and a very again, we're trying to get away from it, but it's impossible not to do a little bit of synopsis. What happens is that our main character's boyfriend, so our main character, so that we can refer to her by her name, is Danny. Her boyfriend is named Christian. Christian is going to break up with her. Then this tragic thing happens with her family. He can't break up with her. On top of that, he ends up inviting everyone to go to a festival at their other friend's home country, and his name is Pele. And Pele is lives in some Nordic country. They're not on purpose. They don't give like a specific location or even a region, except that we know it's somewhat Nordic. Um, and they go to this festival, and again the tone changes immediate. We go from the dark, dim, gloomy parts of the city to the open fields and green and flowers and beautifully painted buildings and open spaces of the rest of the movie. We will spend the rest of the movie in these spaces. So what we watched this movie together. First, I watched it by myself last year, but we watched it together recently. Manny says that he's glad that he watched it, and he was there for that. Um, and so when you guys were watching the movie, and Manny, if you can comment your first impression, I'll read it out loud. But when you were watching it at first, Jesus, what did you think as far as like what were you expecting in the first 20 or like after 20 minutes? How did you feel about the movie?
I'm gonna go with that same impression that you have. The movie caused me a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of times in the movie where it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And it was different because, yes, in the beginning it does start off dark, but then it has a very vibrant feel to it. There's a lot of colors. There's a lot of drug using. Big shout out to the heroin we were talking about earlier. Um,
Heroin, if you're listening.
Heroin, if you're listening, please sponsor us. Other things like with the whole movie, with the artwork, uh, it's hard to pick up at first, but going back and looking for like little Easter eggs, they show a lot of things as far as what to expect later on in the movie. Like in the beginning parts of the film, a lot of the artwork shows like the entire plot to the film. There's little hidden fucking
Imagery.
imagery. There's like little hidden scarecrows, which shows parts to the end. There's little hidden fucking like bears. Again, leaning towards the end. So uh, I think watching it the first time, you're like, what the fuck? And then watching it the second time, you'll start picking up on little things like, oh shit, like that's gonna happen with something else, and that's gonna relate to something different later on that you really don't pick up that first time because there's just so much to fucking gather that first time watching it because it is such a long film. But at the same time, it's so fucking worth it because from start to finish, it really leaves you uh, on the seat of
Edge
your
of your
fucking
seat.
chair. Yeah, the edge of your seat because you're just like, fuck you guys, man. I'm just chilling.
Michelle, I know you're chomping at the bit for a chance to talk about early imagery. What do you got for us as far as early onset in the movie?
Oh, honestly, like the intro, that entire like the story being told in the beginning up to where I think it said something like 20 minutes until you see the opening credits. Like that is fantastic. Um, Not because it took 20 minutes, but like the entire story, how it was told, how there was this polar opposite of the dark and snowy and just, yeah. But besides the imagery and all of that, you get to meet the characters. You get to meet the jester, Mark. You get to meet the more serious guy who, Josh. You get to meet like Peleg, etc. And then of course Danny and piece of shit boyfriend. I hate him so much. Oh my gosh, I hate that man. And
We're
in the
gonna get
beginning,
there.
in the intro, like you start to fucking hate him.
You should have just broke up with her.
And yeah, and it's such a fucking. I'll get to that later. Anyway, um, talking about like the imagery, like foreshadowing, etc., in like those first 20 minutes, the first shot, the first thing we see is a huge mural that basically sums up the entire film, like all 2 hours plus. Um, do you
Boom,
guys
end
remember it,
credits.
or do you remember seeing it at least?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone is
I
in it. Like
definitely.
every single character is drawn into it. Every single like major events of the climax or climaxes, I guess, because there's like so many times that I'm like, is this it? Is this it? Um, yeah, this is probably I. So fun fact, I showed the beginning, like the intro, the first 20 minutes to my mom, and she was like, "This is great, but I'm terrified to go beyond this." So she's never seen anything beyond that. Shh. And funny enough, I showed my sister, and she did watch the entire film, and she was like, "Why can't the whole film just be like the first 20 minutes? Like the rest is just so much more terrifying." I don't even know if she's listening. I told her that we were talking about this film, and I think she was like, "I think I'll pass. It sounds too terrifying for me, or too, anxiety ridden." Um, but yeah, every single artwork in her room as well. Like there's this. Oh my goodness, I think he's Swedish, John Bauer. Like if you remember, it's like a big bear and a little girl with a crown.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything is tied to the story in one way or another. Even like the plants in her room. Anyway, yeah, I'm done for now.
Well, so and then early too, when they do the mushroom tea, um, and again, like as someone with anxiety, I could not believe she gave in to peer pressure and did the mushroom tea. Like,
Oh,
like, like, bitch, you know you're gonna panic. Like,
yeah.
I'd like to do mushroom tea too. I love mushrooms, but I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore because I'm just gonna have a panic attack. Sure enough, she starts to have a bad trip. And if you pay close attention to the waves and the hills, you see on the hill is a perfect image of her sister with the mask over her face killing herself. Um, and so all of that stuff. I mean, just incredible detail. Um, like they mentioned the art and the murals and all that stuff that tell you the whole movie. And so the first time you're not going to see it long enough unless you're paying attention to it to even gain anything from it. But you can watch the movie over and over again and gain different things from it every time you watch it, because of all the imagery and the specific things that are placed for that exact reason. So Luis Romero says Michelle during the entire movie, and it's a picture, a picture. It's an emoji of a cat with a surprised face. Is that your friend? I guess. Do you know him, Michelle?
Oh,
Luis Romero.
Mike. Yeah. That's he was my ancestor's old roommate, and he's our homie, and my dog's Dio. So hi,
Your
Luis.
dog's Theo.
Yeah,
What's up, Theo Luis?
Oh
Dio
shit! You
Luis.
said Theo. I thought you said dog's dealer. I was like, oh.
And that too. He sells my dog's dog heroin.
All right.
Oh
Doggy
shit.
horse. What's up, Theo Luis? Manny says, for sure, a lot of what the fuck moments for me. It was dark in the beginning, and then the transition and tone of the movie kept me in it for some stuff and gave me anxiety. But overall, I love the movie. Definitely got to watch it again to notice all that. Yeah, so when Manny watched it with us recently, it was his first time through the movie, and so obviously a lot of this stuff you're just not paying attention to it. You're paying attention to the people and the faces, like you do with a lot of movies, and some things are going to pass by you.
Or
We're
like the
gonna go ahead and
breathing
fast.
flower on her crown. Sorry,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched it in the theater and for the first time rather, and mind you, I've seen it 1,500 times at my house since then. But nothing compares to seeing it in that big ass screen and like just seeing the fucking flower just like breathing over her head, and I was just like, my nails were digging into the chair, just like, oh my gosh, is this ever gonna end? Like it was like, I don't know, it was so good but so bad at the same time. Like the
Seeing those
feeling, like I
flowers
don't know.
were fucking with me too during the movie when I was watching it for the first time because I was like, wait, is that flower doing that or am I fucked up
I
right
fucking
now? Like,
hated it, dude. I
Yeah, it
loved it,
fucks
but
with
I
Yeah,
you.
hated it.
yeah, say.
And that's the best part of this movie. Just in a perfect summary of this movie is it is intensely beautiful, but also gives you this deep sense of dread. Unlike a lot of movies are not able to accomplish that. So again, we're gonna fast forward without doing a synopsis. We're gonna go to the next big moment in the movie. A lot of stuff, culty stuff happens. They're asked to participate in very wholesome activities at the beginning. Help us do some cooking. Help us chop some wood, things like that. They're served delicious food. Well, maybe it wasn't good, but it was at least very wholesome and like grown on the land and shit like that. So healthy. They're given these beds in this big hall. I mean, very comfortable. It should be comfortable. The like if you were in that position, like it should be very comforting. Who the fuck is eating chips? Who is eating
It is
chips?
not me. I'm
I'm not.
talking. See, you don't hear.
Motherfuckers.
I'm not eating chips.
Who fucking
Well,
farted?
um,
You
I
sound
shit
really
myself,
sus
but
right now.
so the thing is that you should be comforted by the colors and all that, but you are deeply unsettled instead, and it's the little things. It's the expressions on these people's faces. They don't look like they're having a good time. Like they're even their smiles, they're empty. The gestures feel almost robotic. They're putting on a show because there is something else going on. And that brings us to the first moment where everybody is going, "What the fuck?" Um, Before that, you have some inklings that things are awry. Um, no one seems to be able to leave. Like there's these people that want to leave immediately and they kind of don't let them go. And then all of a sudden they're just gone without any explanation. And so there's little things happening here and there where you're kind of getting, and just a little bit of background on the characters. Christian, her boyfriend, and Josh are competing to do a dissertation for their doctorates on this exact cultural phenomenon. That's how they know each other. They're in grad school together. And then you get the jester. I forget his fucking name.
Mark.
Mark. So, and then you get Mark, who's just kind of farting around and wanting to drink and do drugs and stare at the girls. And then we get to the cliff scene. So the cliff scene, the cliff scene.
Jumpman, 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 Jump.
So, oh, dude, I swear I just fucking moved it so that wouldn't happen. The cliff scene, for like, I know Juan, you thought it was like comical, like you weren't really taken aback by the brutal part of it all.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought, well, it's because I'm into really gory horror movies, so to me that wasn't like anything like special, personally. I thought the movie was really disturbing. Like a lot of the other stuff, the stuff that wasn't even like hardcore actually freaked me out more than the actual like gore parts. Like the movie didn't even need that for it to be like, holy shit, you know what I mean? I actually just thought it was like funny because I actually like kind of laughed when the man jumped feet first. Spoiler alert, by the way. But because I was like, why the fuck would you jump like that? Are you stupid? You know what I mean? Then again, I'd probably do the same thing, but
You fucking would.
just because I'd be like, oh shit, I forgot, you know, and yeah, but
I don't. The only part I don't agree with you is that the movie didn't need it, because I honestly feel like the movie needed everything that was implemented. I feel like again the movie was probably a little bit long, but in order for those subtle things to hit, you needed moments like this. You needed a crescendo
but you know what? I think a lot of to me, what made me very uneasy was a lot of like, first off, the imagery. I was just like, for being such a vivid movie, like the colors and everything, like you just feel like, oh shit, like how the fuck do you get out of this place without them like doing something, you know, like just like what is the word I'm looking for, like I guess kind of like just feeling like you're like in this far away place and you don't know what the fuck these people are even saying, because they intentionally didn't add subtitles also, so that you feel whatever they might be feeling being in that place, you know?
Right.
Like a lot of that tension that you just feel like, because you know that there's fucked up shit going on, so you're just kind of like, it just, to me, that's what made me uneasy. Like the whole the setting, that's actually what fucked with me more than anything. Not so much the gore.
I just feel like if
if
Juan traveled across the world and he saw people jump off a cliff, I feel like you would be fucking weirded out by it, Juan.
I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody
Oh
would
yeah,
be weirded out.
this is nothing like the porn shop where dudes are fucking each other up the ass.
No, I mean, of course, and I think anybody would be like, what the fuck, seeing that in person, but I mean, I'm saying as a movie, I mean...
I see what you're saying, and I agree with you in that the parts that disturbed me were also not the most obvious parts, but you need those parts to give the subtle parts flavor. You needed this because the character development called for them being shocked. We were seeing it already. We were seeing that things were kind of fucked up, but they had not seen anything yet where they would start running for the hills. And this is kind of that first moment. And I'm unsure, has Mark already pissed on the ancestral tree at this point?
No, that happens later.
Okay.
It happens after.
Basically, right after this.
Before the next bigger thing that happens.
Yeah. Okay. So we get to the cliff, and Michelle, I'll get your input right now, but just very briefly, two elderly members of the group. They're not a cult, and we can't call them a cult, but we can call them like a group. So two elderly members of the group climb on top of this cliff, and you think that they're going to have like some kind of ceremony, because they've invited all these guests to this thing, and it turns out that they're just gonna jump off the cliff. And they jump off the cliff, and like Juan said, the man jumps legs first, and he horrifically breaks his legs. If you've never broken your legs, I can understand why that may not be that bad to you. I'm someone that broke their ankle and 2 bones in their leg at the same time, and it's very hard for me to watch those kinds of things. It was deeply unsettling again, and I get why for other people it may not have been, but when these people are not dead yet, they take a giant wooden mallet and they bash their heads in front of all these people.
Galaga.
Yes, Gallagher style, with the watermelons. And so for me, and again, we'll get to Michelle in just a second, but for me, this part was representation, or the first time that you see that the group is a collectivist group. That is that every member of the group feels what every other member feels. Whether that's actually true or not, and it's not, is yet to be said. But that's the idea. That's the ideology behind what they believe, behind their belief system, is that everyone is interconnected. And so while these people die, they die with them, and in turn will carry their lives with them as they walk away from the ceremony. So what is your take on this scene, Michelle?
Well, going off of the last thing you said, yeah, the entire I'll call it a commune, I guess, not a cult. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, it's the idea of like a shared experience, and you see that a lot throughout, and not so much just like seeing the actual shared experience happening, but when right before this scene that we're talking about, Danny speaking to a woman who has a baby, but it's not her baby, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, like everyone raises the kids here." Again, it's the idea of like everyone is family, and again, when you're born, you if it's like a male female thing, right? Like the male and female who are about to jump off the cliff, like so. There's a lot of like duality kind of ideas behind this as well, and you have like your person that you were born on the same day you're close enough to, but the scene in general, I have to go back to my sister and her like just not hating it, just she told me that one of her biggest fears is traveling to a foreign country where she doesn't speak the native language and being put in a situation like this where there is no escape. She can't communicate. Like this film kind of ruined the idea of her ever leaving the country. Not that we can right now, but future. But she also mentioned something funny to me. She thought like this scene in particular was one of the more tame, quote unquote, scenes that she was able to sit through because she kind of expected it. She kind of, knew something bad was going to happen. But what bothered her, and I totally agree with her on this point, like the most, is the noise. Like, usually in slasher films or horror films, noise is intensified to get a reaction out of the audience, right? Most of the time, not a lot, but, it's more common to have like a noisier, louder, like, oh shit, let me like a jump scare, right? But here it gets quiet and it just zooms in on Danny's face, and it's her just like in complete and fucking utter shock. And then she watches the first person fall, like shocked. The second person, she's just like still, like there's this stillness to it that makes it, how you were saying, like there's a stillness in all of the people and their smiles and their everything that's so unfucking settling.
Yes, I
and
agree. 100%.
brilliant at the same time. But no, yeah, this film successfully ruined my sister's chances of ever traveling anywhere.
Just go to Italy. Nothing like that.
Go to Italy, yeah. Eat spaghetti, you'll be fine.
Yeah, the actually Italian food is fucking not as advertised. It's actually very bad. But well, what is advertised is good. Like the pizza's good, the pasta's good, but don't eat anything else. Actually, eat a kebab from the Mediterranean dudes, because that shit's amazing. So moving on from that scene, we get some other important stuff very quickly. The Jester is cemented his place in the movie he takes a piss on this tree that's dead, and they happen to spread the ashes of their ancestors around the tree, and so he's literally pissing on their dead relatives. He is ostracized, obviously. He's yelled at. People are very upset. When they have a little lunch the next day, everyone's staring at him. And one of the girls asks him to leave, and of course, because he's fucking horny or whatever, he goes with her, and then he's never seen again. And then we go to... It can't be called the climax, because for me, the climax happens with fire.
Oh no, the climax was when the homeboy climax. You know what I'm saying?
I mean that could be seen as a climax too. Dude, so unsettling, so unsettling.
Dude,
So,
all I want to know is if I was doing that ritual, would you guys help me? Would you guys push my hips?
Push
Would
your
you guys?
butt. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
just push my
I'll
butt.
hold her hand and sing.
All right,
I
that's
got
gonna
you,
be
bro.
a hard no for me, dog.
really? You're not gonna push my butt? All
I
right.
will. I
No,
will.
I'm not gonna put you. You got to get your stroke game yourself.
Oh shit.
I don't feel comfortable propelling your stroke forward. Um, so we get again, it can't be considered the climax, at least not for me personally. Maybe someone else is gonna feel different. But we get some scenes that are incredibly disturbing, and again, just for a little bit of character development, Danny's freaking out. She is not sleeping well. Everyone is kind of freaking out, but these guys are still focused on their dissertations. The jester Mark is gone, and Pele is interestingly very interested in Danny. Um,
He's trying to fuck.
he, yeah, I mean, he's trying to fuck for sure. He's trying to get it, and so Michelle and I are about to get into a discussion about Team Danny versus Team Christian.
Oh.
So for me, it's hard to say that Christian is completely at fault here. And he is ultimately not forced into this position, that's unfair, but he was already going to break up with her, and then this fucking horrific thing happened. Something that most people couldn't imagine. Something that I, through all the fucking things I've been through, could not imagine what this young woman is going through. And so he can't break up with her because she's broken, and he is, in his mind, and this will be up for debate too, no doubt. In his mind, he's doing the right thing by not only staying with her, but then bringing her on this trip. Ultimately, he is stuck doing this. He is not forced to do this, but if he doesn't do this, he's in a situation where he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. And Pele is 100% taking advantage of the situation by creeping in when, first of all, he knows what's going to happen to Christian, which we'll get into later, but he also is just after Danny, and he gets her, manipulates it to the point where she's going to get over to the festival. And I'll let Michelle take over from there to give you Pele's side of the story.
I completely disagree that Pele was just trying to hit that or just like bone or whatever. I really do. Okay, the first interaction you see with both of them, it's at their apartment, and they're talking, he's drawing, just, small talk, and then he cuts to like, hey, I forgot, my condolences for your loss. I know what you're going through. I lost my parents in a fire, right? And that's brought up again later on when she is having a terrible anxiety attack after watching this whole cliff scene.
Right.
And again, after seeing the whole movie, or the movie in its entirety, you can assume that he lost his parents, like the end scene with, everything in the fire. I don't know if we should talk about that yet, but all of that being said, is I believe that, one, Pele wasn't trying to hit that. I really do believe he was genuinely trying to help her. And seeing like the reaction of her saying, no, like I can't even talk about like you saying my condolences and running away, like it just made him think like, okay, I have an abundance of family. Even though my parents are gone, I still have my little community where everyone is my family, everyone is my brother, my sister, my father, my mother. I have something in overabundance that she does not, and I can give that to her. And he can also see through Christian's bullshit because in the opening scene when they're all having pizza or whatever, and Mark is just telling Christian over and over, just break up with her, just break up with her, and he's being a little punk. That's not fair. He's being a little bitch, and he's just like, oh, I can't, oh, I this and that, and then of course the untimely death of the family. Oh no, now I'm stuck. Well, it was snowing when that was happened. This is midsummer, haha, midsummer. He had a lot of chances to end it. He could have, not invited her. And fuck, I hate that it's not in the original cut, but in the director's cut, the scene after the party, but when she realizes that he's actually going to this on this trip with them, um, it's a lot. That fight, that whole argument is extended, and towards the end, he says, "Oh, it was going to be a surprise. I was going to invite you. I just wanted it to be romantic because it lands around your birthday. Blah 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 blah." So, and then you see her apologize even more profusely. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that's so sweet of you. That's this and that. And it's like, no, motherfucker. Like, you're just a little bitch. You can't break up with her. You can't just stand up and say, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, sorry you're going through the bullshit. But Pele lives with him. He sees all of that. He sees Christian's a piece of shit, and he knows he can help her. I think it would have been almost more fucked up had Pele not invited her, and it would have just been just the boys' trip, because then, yeah, they just would have been sent there to be human sacrifices for this tradition, right? But the fact that she was
Which they
there,
were.
they were.
So them dying them dying for the purpose of the sacrifice of the commune, and them dying for her to somehow take this May Queen position, are one is better than the other somehow.
Not so much. I think the act of not throw that aside. The act of Pele. Let's just say Danny wasn't there, right? Fucking homie grew some balls and dumped her, and whatever, right? Then he would have been taking them, and yeah, they would have been human sacrifices, whatever. Shit could have ended up differently, but I think, and again, maybe it's the extended scenes I've seen in the director's cut. Like, he is actively excited and pushing for Danny to go to this trip, which she ends up going to, and you see him just being sweet to her. Like, it's that scene in the when they're in the sleeping quarters, and he's like, do you feel held by him? Does he feel like home to you? Like, he realizes, no, she can't answer that, because no, he does not. But furthermore, I can do that because look at my whole family. Look where I've brought you. I have all this family for you to have. I know you're hurting. So yeah, I'm team fucking Pele all the way because Christian's a piece of shit. So I don't know.
Interesting debates
I
here.
see
It's a better debate
for
than
Pele,
yesterday.
it's also like we're seeing it from our point of view, right? Like, from us on this side. I don't know. This makes me sound really culty and whatever, but if you see it from his side, like, yeah, maybe it's tradition for people to leave the commune and bring back people, but also, at the end, it's
To
Danny
lure
who
them to
kills
their
Christian.
deaths.
To lure them to their death.
Yeah.
It's
So
Danny who
here's
kills Christian at the end, not
so
Pele.
I don't want to get too much more into this because we have a lot of the movie, but I'm gonna
Okay,
just
no,
tell
yeah,
you
good.
just give you my counter argument to this. And
Yes,
this
go.
is something that we talked about last night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Christian
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Christian Jesus just wants to prove he's awake. Uh, so Christian
Guys,
represents
sleep, guys.
what the world actually is, and Pele represents what people want the world to be. So ultimately, what you see from Pele is this person who is offering this big uh, family, this fucking sense of community, this overly pure and happy place. Except that for that place to exist, people have to give human sacrifices. Ultimately, Pele draws these young men into their death. Both Mark and Josh and Christian are all lured to their death by Pele, not by Danny. Danny didn't lure anybody anywhere. And Christian ultimately, again, he was trying to do the right thing. This woman just lost her whole family, and he was trying to hang in there even though he didn't want to be with her anymore. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it's a Sophie's choice. Like, do I either abandon this woman her worst time of need, or do I fucking try to help her out through this even though I don't really want to? You're a scumbag either way. Any way someone cuts it, you're gonna be, because if you do it, some people are going to think you're a scumbag. If you don't do it, then Michelle thinks you're a scumbag, which I get. I totally understand that point of view. But Christian is real. He is. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
Fucking
can hear
hell.
you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
No, I just got a notification.
Yes.
I got a notification that said I couldn't operate with voice. But so for me, the problem here is that Pele, again, it's insincere in that we don't see a happily ever after. We do see her fall into this new family because she's embraced as a May Queen or whatever. But we don't see what that actually does for her except for one smile. And I get that that smile is supposed to be incredibly powerful. I get that it's supposed to be this bow kind of that's wrapped to things. But we can't forget that people died to get everyone in this commune here, and I think that Pele is insincere in what he's offering, not just her, but what he offered these people that were supposed to be his friends. And for me, it's not a matter of like, oh, your friends and your girlfriend or your friends and this girl you like. It's a matter of not luring your friends to their death and then stealing one of their girlfriends. And
Dick
so I
move. It's
get
a dick move.
it's a dick move. And I think that, you know, if you want to just, if Danny's the hero of this story, which for me she is not. If Danny is the hero of this story, then yeah, Pele is the bad guy. But there are no heroes in this story for me, and so that makes both Pele and Christian a piece of shit, just in different ways. One side of the coin is the world as it really is. One side of the coin is what the world as you want it to be. Both of them are a motherfucker because the world is a hard, cold place, and you want to imagine the world as this warm, loving place, but that's not real, and the other one is. Um, and
That's why
so
we have heroin.
that's why we have heroin to take you to the actual warm, fuzzy
Hmm.
place. Fun fact: heroin would not have any effect on me because I do not respond to opiates. Um,
I call
and
BS. I'm gonna bring heroin over right now. We're gonna make you shoot up, and we're gonna see what happens.
so I don't want to not give you a chance to respond. We also need to move on. And so I take it as you will, listeners. Like because we can't go back and forth. There's not going to be a resolution to this. But Michelle has her opinion on this. I have my opinion. Ultimately, I think they're both viable options. I don't see anything wrong with your argument. I just have a different way of looking at it.
No,
And
that makes sense. I completely understand that. You know, yes, Christian was doing it too. Sorry, I know you said no back and forth,
no,
but
of
I
course,
get what
go,
you're
please.
saying as well. My whole thing is think of it like the election. You know, it's like the lesser evil. Haha. To
Right.
me, it's Pele because what he has to offer is genuine. Yeah, they, might lure people to their death and,
You gotta,
have
you gotta
like
crack a few eggs to make an omelet. You know what I'm
gotta,
saying?
yeah, exactly.
Perfect,
Um,
Jesus. Thank you.
but what Christian has to offer is him just lying and gaslighting her and just being manipulative and an asshole, like even to his own friend Josh. He's
That
just
part's fucked up. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that for me kind of solidified the whole. This guy's a piece of shit. I do not like him. And I still maintain, though, I don't think Pele was ever really trying to hit that being
Oh,
Danny.
he was trying to hit that.
I
I
don't
Yeah.
was
think
I don't
so.
see how that's even how that's
I
even
was
He
reading
was trying to hit
somewhere.
that.
refutable.
I was reading
I
somewhere
don't.
that like at the end,
He hit that.
no, you know how those dudes that are part of the cult they end up getting sacrificed
We
too,
talked that they're
and
not a
they end up
cult, Juan.
Yes,
no no
Juan.
no
Yes. Yes.
that that they
Let,
basically acknowledge that it's bullshit like all along because they're telling them no pain, no fear, and all that, and that they're sitting and all of a sudden they start burning and they're like, oh fuck.
no, well, that they knew they were. I mean, no pain, no fear is something. They're not bullshitting them. It's the mentality that they have to have. They
Juan,
also
Cobra
give
Kai, no
them.
mercy.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. So we're gonna not skip over, but we're gonna briefly go over two very harsh parts of the movie because we need to get to the end, the climax that Juan is talking about.
Let's talk about
We
that
need,
inbreed.
yes, we're getting there. So the
Okay.
first thing is that there's like an actual festival part of all of this. There's dancing and music, and Danny is put in. She wins the dancing contest. You just dance. You're given like a hallucinogenic drug, and you dance and dance until everybody falls down. She's the last one to fall down.
Twerk off.
She's crowned as the May Queen. She's given this giant crown made of flowers, and the flowers are blooming and wilting in front of your face like you're on mushrooms. And they're growing and they're retracting and all sorts of really cool stuff that's done with the visuals. Again, is this super important scene? Yes. Is there a lot to dissect? Probably. But we need to move on to the last scene that we're going to cover. And so go watch the movie. Go watch the fucking movie. Then, right after that, directly after that, we find Josh in a very interesting predicament as he is desperate to see some of the texts that this group, this commune, is keeping to themselves. They tell him that he absolutely cannot, not only can he not enter this place, but there is no photographing of any kind with certain text, and he does it because he's so desperate to get this dissertation out. And as he's photographing these sacred texts, he is hit in the back of the head by an elder who is wearing Mark's face, the jester. He's wearing his face, and he's hit in the back of the head and he dies. Is there a lot to dissect here? Not really. You're just kind of watching a guy die. Is it important? Of course it is. But then we move on to the next scene that we're going to talk about, again, very briefly, which is the sex scene. Throughout this whole story, you see Christian being pursued by a very comely young woman who is... I think they make it a point to be like, she's very young, like maybe not even 18 young. And she carves this rune that's supposed to give him a love spell. She puts it under her bed. They stare at each other the whole movie. You finally see him lured away from his bed and into this fucking, what I can best describe as a sex shed. And they,
sex shed.
the sex shed. And there's fucking 20 women in there. And they all lure him. She's just like, boom, she's there with her legs up, ready to fucking get plowed. And he take his pants down, and he's, they fucking get him. It's 20 women, not only watching.
It reminds me of my first time.
Were there 20 people watching you during your first time?
Her that's parents and all.
That's kind of sweet. So what Jesus is so delicately referring to is that when he enters, they're pushing his butt, and they're holding her hands, and then every time she moans because he's thrusting, they moan with him, and they go and it's so disturbing.
Right.
It
Ready on the
so
count of
disturbing.
3. We're all gonna synchronize and let's do it.
It's not gonna work on the thing, but let's try it anyway.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
So it sounds worse than that.
I am
because they're
I
all
came.
in sync.
I
They're all
fucking
in
came.
sync. It's very synchronized.
I'm pregnant.
And
God damn it.
Mark comes in her. Ultimately, that's what she's after. They explain earlier that they need to bring outside sperm in so that the inbreeding doesn't happen.
Very limited. They want it very limited.
Yeah, so very, you're only really supposed to marry, distant cousins or whatever. Still gross, whatever. Moving on. He comes, they kidnap him. And
Could you imagine being that family? They're like, hey, guess what? They're like, what's up? You have to be the inbred family now. Like, oh, shit, what? That's right.
There's parts of America where that's not really frowned upon. And so, he's kidnapped.
What are you doing, step bro? Not even step bro, it's just bro. What are you doing, bro?
Ugh.
I'm gonna do Anyway, let's go on.
So he's kidnapped and he's paralyzed. He's giving an agent where he's paralyzed. You can see that he's awake. His
Well,
eyes are darting around, but he can't
Danny
move.
found him fucking. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's almost inconsequential at this point because she doesn't really care. But she does, yeah. She does catch him fucking,
She does
and
care.
so this just puts her further. I think it pushes her further towards not only Pele, but in a bigger picture, it pushes her towards becoming part of this commune, which is really what the commune is after at this point, because she's the Maid Queen. So
Yeah,
now we
I
get to the climax.
don't know,
Go ahead,
like not
Michelle.
just like pushes her further away from Christian or whatever, but also she's having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, and then she has her own kind of shared experience with all the women there, and they're all kind of crying together with her in unison as well, like kind of how we just did the whole moaning thing,
Mhm.
that Christian just did. Like Danny has her own moment of that kind of, okay, if you're going to suffer, if you're going to be in pain, if you're hurt, you're crying, you're etc., we're going to be hurt with you. We're going to have that together. I personally found that scene a lot more difficult to sit through. Like seeing all of them just like scream crying, like this guttural, like holy shit, like moment, or sound rather. Compared to the sex scene, yeah, that was uncomfortable and just like, I don't know. But this one was more of like, okay, like, oh, holy shit, this is really weird. Everyone is screaming. Everyone's having this panic attack together or sharing it with her. But it also, like, you kind of see her face, like, realize it, and she's not alone. Or as alone as she felt with, with being with Christian or whatever. Anyway.
No, I'm very glad you brought that up because I think it's a fantastic point, and I think that it justifies a lot of what she's gone through. So, what she's about to experience is horrific in a whole different way, but she now has again what you called perfectly a shared experience, and her whole existence in the movie. You can't speak for her whole life, but her existence in the movie, her plight in the movie, is that she's alone. These guys are like a little boys club, and she always kind of feels like the outsider. Her family is literally dead, and Pele experiences that also. So she's experiencing a shared experience with him, but a shared experience with all of the people that all of a sudden are having a panic attack with her, and it is a shift in the story, and it does lead her. If you notice the whole movie, there is not a happy expression on her face until she gets to the end and she's experiencing this thing with all these people, and that's when she finally is able to smile. And the thing that she experiences, other than the panic attack and the shared crying and all of that, is the burning. And this is going to be the last thing that we're going to talk about. Thank you for everybody for hanging in there. We realize that we started a little bit late, and it is a little bit late, but we are going to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes. The burning. So Josh is brought into a building, a house, a giant house, and it's one room. And there's a bunch of hay, and he is brought into there. And when you look a little bit closer, you discover that he has been stuffed with hay and has been made into a scarecrow. You only get his head, really, or maybe even just the face. The same thing happens to Mark. He is turned into a scarecrow. He is given a jester's hat, in addition to becoming a scarecrow. And then to members of the commune who are alive and well and have actually volunteered are also they're not scarecrows, but they walk into the shed and they sit down on these hay bales. They share a glance with each other. They're given this what I imagine is a drug, but it may be a sedative or something so that they don't feel as much of what they're about to go through, or maybe they're just tripping so hard that they won't experience it in such an intense way. And then we get the bear. Visually, the most shocking part of this movie is the bear. It's the most traditionally horrific part of the movie, I think. But it has an incredible effect no matter what way you look at it. And that is that there's a bear that is killed and then hollowed out, and then Christian is alive and sewed into the bear so that the open mouth, is where his face is. He's still paralyzed. He's not saying anything, but you can tell that this is the most terrified man on the planet as they put him in the house with his two dead friends and these two other cult members. The house is lit on fire, and all of them burn. The cult members are heard screaming and seen burning alive. Christian is seen catching fire and then burning alive, and then obviously the scarecrows burn a lot easier. The house is burnt, and again we get an image and a scene of collective crying from the people from the commune. They're all crying and throwing themselves and thrashing. Incredibly disturbing, deeply unsettling. And our last image is of Danny, who is now covered, literally like a giant snail of flowers. Now
Boom.
she's wearing
Flower bukkake.
flower bukkake, flower dress with a flower bump, flower crown. She could not be more covered in flowers. And you see this last image of her, and she has these tears in her eyes, and she's still very clearly tripping. But this smile starts to creep over her face, and we get to the end of the movie. I have obviously talked a lot just now, trying to explain what's happening, and Michelle and I have been going back and forth, and we will get back to her in a second. But why don't we get Juan? And well, Juan, what is your first take after you get to the end of the movie?
What do you mean exactly? Like, what do I think of my
What
first thoughts?
what did you feel? What did you think? Were you unsettled? Were you disappointed? What happened?
Okay, so again, that was another one of the scenes where I was like, "Oh, that shit is fucked up," but I thought it was a little bit funny
Right.
because of the bear costume. And
You just wanted to fuck the bear.
it just it just looked hilarious. Like, you just see a giant teddy bear getting burned. Like, I know it's a person in there.
Oh,
Like,
Right.
I know where they were
so
going
being
for
a
it, but-
burned alive is funny to you now, huh?
like, I get it, it's fucked up, but I actually felt more bad for like the cult members who fucking
You felt bad for the cult members?
the ones who sacrificed themselves.
They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it was
I
like
just
a great honor for them.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
until
fuck
they fucking
that.
start burning
They
and they're like,
deserve
oh
to burn.
fuck.
I was happy when they were like, "Oh shit, this is really painful." I'm like, "Yes, you fucking idiot." I hope, and I hope they burn in hell.
And I hope they burn in hell. Um, yeah, I have a hard time fucking feeling bad for the cult members. Um, yeah, I just don't get it. But
I don't
I mean,
think
that's fine.
it's a feel bad or not for them. Like, of course they knew they were gonna burn and they were gonna die, but like, it's been mentioned it was a great honor for them. So I think because we're seeing it from like our point of view, like, yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's like,
Because they got
you're
brainwashed into it.
yes and no. It's what they believe in, how they grew up. Like, they watched, like Pele watching his parents go through it. Maybe they did it, their names got picked out, or they volunteered, and they knew that they
I
could have.
volunteer as tribute.
But I like, part of me, like, I have this weird little backstory for Pele where, like, maybe his parents volunteered, like, knowing fully that their kid was going to be okay left in the hands of this community. He was going to be raised with a family. Like, there's nothing that he's going to not have or miss or anything. So again, I don't feel like it's oh, fuck these guys, watch them burn, haha, like, whatever. Like, I feel bad. I don't feel bad for them. I think it's this is what they believe. Um, this is why I further believe Pele, like, has good intentions, and doesn't want to bone Danny. It's just that's how they were raised. That's how he was raised. This is normal to them, and it's something that's explained over and over, especially after the cliff scene. I forget her name, but the eldest lady who's kind of in charge and like takes charge of all the ceremonies. Like, she says, like, it's a great honor for them. When I turn 76, 70, yeah, 76, like, it's going to be a great honor for me to do this as well. So yeah, so I see it, like, again, more through their brainwashed commune mind, as opposed to like our, like, holy shit, people are getting killed, which is fucked up on my end too. Don't get me, like, I get it, but I also see that side.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotion going on that has nothing to do with feeling bad for anyone. You feel, I think if you've ever been part of something like this, and I consider my involvement in the Catholic Church as a young man to be similar, you're happy for
That's a
people
really great
when
comparison.
yeah, I mean, these people that go through these things, you feel they feel like they've ascended, and you feel happy that they've ascended. And of course, the Catholic Church isn't burning people alive. They might be doing worse stuff, but they're not doing that specifically.
I saw them
And
burn crosses.
no, that's the KKK.
Oh shit, my bad. Okay.
Uh, so, so you know what and you watch if you've never seen a documentary, watch a documentary called Jesus Camp. These
No,
people
don't.
are
No,
put
no.
uh, these people are put through really really harsh things and are fucking expelled from the church and all sorts of things for just wanting to be normal people. And then you get the opposite of this, where these people in the commune in Midsummer are really genuinely happy. They understand the cycle and the circles of life. They understand the stages of life and what they should bring. And so again, I didn't hate the cult members. I didn't feel bad for the ones that were burning, but I think I didn't feel bad for them because they were ascending. In their minds, they were reaching the next plane of existence, the next cycle of life. And while I think that's batshit crazy, I also don't like, man, do whatever makes you happy. Um, and so that's where we really get out of this movie is not do whatever makes you happy, but we
Heroin.
get if you yeah, I mean I guess if when you see it's called cultural relativism. Different cultures are going to understand life in a completely different way, and our way of life doesn't understand what they've went through. And I think you need to draw hard lines in the sand when you say, well, no one should have to die for your culture to flourish. That part shouldn't happen. But the rest of it, isn't it intriguing? Isn't it something, like Michelle says, where she's looking at it through their eyes? Isn't it something that you might want to be a part of this ultimately beautiful, loving, giant community as opposed to feeling isolated or alone or any of those things? It's alluring to want to be part of a collectivist love like that. And that's what I took from the end of the movie. And I know you're very drunk, Jesus, but what do you got for us, bud?
Uh, okay, hold up. Hold up. No, hold up. All right. I am very drunk. That is correct.
Go on.
I really enjoyed this movie, and I felt like every time I watched a second time around, I pick up a little bit more and more. Um, I really like Michelle's arguments. I never really kind of saw it that way. So it really brings a new light to it, and I feel like if I watch it again, which I most likely will, because the way she's described the director's cut, I've never seen the director's cut, so I would definitely want to watch that now. Um, I might have a different stance on it, but at the same time, I feel like they're both guys are pieces of shit. So when he was burning in the oh, fuck, I forgot his name. I want to call him Doug. It's not Doug at all.
Mark,
What's
Christian, Josh,
the guy in the bear?
Christian.
Josh,
Christian.
Christian. When he's burning up, I felt happiness because I was like, he's a piece of shit and he deserves to burn. But at the same time, I really wanted Pele to burn too, because I fucking hate that he brought all those people there to die. But now I'm looking at things in a different light, and now I'm really drunk, and I feel like they might worship Dylon because he spits hot fire, and and that's it. I'm out. 313.
All right. Don't do that quite yet. Michelle, your last thoughts. I know we always go a little too quick, but your last thoughts, if you can put them together.
Last thoughts. I was so excited when I saw this Instagram post that you were gonna do this episode on this film because I absolutely love this film. Um, Actually, I'm watching it on my TV as I have the YouTube stream on my laptop and my notes on my phone. But beyond that, I was so excited that I was like, I'm gonna buy a Midsummer shirt to talk about it. But I ordered it today, so of
Ooh.
course I wasn't gonna fucking come in on like in 2 hours. Anyway, um, It's a great film. It's different than any horror film we've seen in the past X amount. I think the closest thing, and I think we might have like skipped or mentioned this in past episodes, or you guys have mentioned, is like Wicker Man. Um, all of that being said, like again, I do see it from their perspective, and I do, I guess, maybe sympathize or I think it's just the idea of like, yeah, they're family, they're together, they're not a piece of shit, manipulative, gaslighting asshole like Christian, and I just hate him so much from the beginning. So maybe that's why I'm like, Pele's awesome, Pele's sweet. No, he doesn't want to bone Danny. Uh,
He wants to bone her.
Yeah, I think
really
you're the
don't think
only
so.
person
I
that I've ever
think
talked to that's in
I
denial about that.
really don't think so. Like, yes, they kiss after he wins, or excuse me, she wins the May Queen. But
Mm.
like, it's such a like congratulations, like here, and but you see them like embrace each other, like when they first show up, like
because they
they're like, oh
about
my
to fuck
brother,
later.
oh my sister, oh this, but they're if that were the case, but aren't they very like they try not to do a lot of you know inbreeding, like they
They're
limit
not
it to.
inbreeding.
She's completely, dude. You're the only person, and I'm not discrediting what you're saying. You're the
Mhm.
only person I've ever talked to about this movie that thinks he's not trying
I
to
feel like even
at
if
least make her his girlfriend.
I think
even
if
if she
anything,
was his sister, he would still be down.
I think if anything, I will say because remember at the very end when she has to choose like who burns, is it going to be Christian or is it going to be like the chosen like other commune member, right? Um, and oh gosh, you see they mention Pele and he's like, oh, for having like unclouded judgments and bringing four new bloods and our newest or this year's May Queen, like he's actually rewarded for that. But there's no way he knew that she was gonna win May Queen. Yeah, he brought the other guys to fucking kill them. Whatever, they kind of sucked anyway, right?
Well, he didn't know she would win May Queen, but he's like, even if she doesn't win May Queen, I'ma fuck that bitch later. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
I truly believe he he just I have this abundance of family. I can give this to her. I see Christian. He's a piece of shit. He doesn't care. He's been wanting to break up with her. You know what? Yes, come on in. Share my family with me. The end.
Oh, he gonna
And
Well,
come
no,
on
I
in.
don't want. I was waiting
yeah,
for
I
that.
mean he's gonna fucking blow those doors out. But
Yeah.
that's it.
He gonna
That's
blossom them
our
flowers.
that's our midsummer take. Take what you want from our midsummer take. I thought it was a really good discussion. I think we covered a lot of really good parts of the movie, and there were some good discussions about it. But that's what we've got for you tonight. Some housekeeping stuff before we get into the sign off. Please follow us on social media at Death by Daylight. Please subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. Again, we're going to be trying to get to you guys as much as we possibly can. We will be doing an episode on Friday. There's a chance it might be a little bit earlier, but we are going to do a stream on Friday. And again, it may be at the same time. We're trying to work that out right now. Um, and that's all the housekeeping stuff. Everybody gets their 1 minute to talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and sign off
We
for
didn't really talk to
Midsummer.
Ernie tonight. Ernie, what do you feel about inbreeding?
Oh my god.
All right, I'm just kidding. Good.
Ernie, why don't you go ahead and give us your minute?
Peace, everybody. Thanks for listening. Uh, Friday. That's it.
All right, Juan, what you got for us?
Don't join a cult, and if you do, please, if you see somebody get thrown off, no, if you see somebody throw themselves off a fucking cliff, leave like immediately. Don't wait. That's
All
about
right,
it.
all right, all right. Let's go ahead and go with Michelle.
Hi. uh, Team Pele all the way.
All right.
Danny is awesome. She deserves better. And
Yes.
I'm just
they,
saying you could do better.
uh, and Yeah, watch the movie. Try to watch the director's cut. It's a little bit longer, but totally fucking worth it.
Jesus, please give us what you got.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you, Michelle, for joining us on this episode today.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
definitely piqued my interest to wanting to watch that director's cut. I will definitely watch it, and I'll get back to you as far as what I thought on that. Thank you guys for everyone who tuned out tonight. Showed up. We enjoy it. We're looking forward to Friday. What are we doing? Rape Fest? Is that still
Yeah,
on?
that's,
Oh my
that's
god,
what it's
it's
gonna
not what
be.
it's
All
gonna
right.
be. It's not what it's
It's
gonna
not
Last house on
Incest
the
Fest.
be.
What are you doing, step bro?
we
All right. Well,
we can guarantee that Friday's gonna be a serial killer. That's what we can tell you. So that's it for us from Death by Daylight. Go ahead and sign us out, baby.
see y'all
Peace.
later. 313.
Fuck the free world.